Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round two of our league challenge that happened at Die Hard Games on March 13th, 2025. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format everyone wants. League Cup, March 29th at 12 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games. Go see more info in this video's description and check out Pokemon's event locator for premiere and other events at the shop such as league challenges, league cups, pre-releases, and more. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's research this Dragapult mirror match. The Dragapult player on the left is going first for us this time, starting things off with a golden nest ball and a Terra Orb. The nest ball, of course, will allow them to search their deck for a basic Pokemon to put onto the bench, and the Terra Orb will allow them to search their deck for a Terra Pokemon to put into the hand. Dragapult EX Terra Pokemon is put into the hand, and the Rotom V hits the bench thanks to those two powerful item cards here. Now, can they get any Dreepy down on their turn one? Usually you want to, especially in a mirror match. Oh, and they go for the Rotom V instant charge, draw three cards, and then the turn. Okay, no Dreepy for our left Dragapult player here. Interesting because they could have grabbed a Dreepy with that Nest Ball, but maybe the hand was that weak that they needed to fill it up with the Rotom V ability, instant charge. We'll see how it pans out for our player as our right Dragapult player goes first, attaching a golden Psychic Energy to the active, a Sparkling Crystal tool card. It has no effect on the non-Terra Dreepy right now, but maybe later, followed by an Iono. Both players shuffle their hand, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw cards from the top equal to their remaining prize cards. Both players will get 6 off of this Iono here. Again, just looking for more Dreepy to put into play, more of your main attacker basic and support because that Dracloak has that powerful recon directive ability, consistency added to the deck with that as well. So getting more and more dragons down is good. Sooner than later, of course, especially in mirror matches where you're both trying to do the same thing. So our player assesses their hand and finds a golden nest ball of their own. That player is then going to look for a basic Pokemon to put onto the bench. We'll see what they've got here. Another Dreepy would be fine. A Rotom V of their own would be okay. Since the opponent has no Dreepy down, you can probably bet that your active Dreepy will not be knocked out next turn at least. I'm going to play it safe and find a Dreepy and establish a second one on the bench here off of this golden nest ball. So our player assesses their hand for the next move. Looks like it is just an attack. What does Dreepy do? 10 damage with its first attack. Yep, onto that Duskull there. And our player on our left Dragapult player, will start their next turn. Buddy Buddy Poffin finally found and played here. That item card allows them to search their deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less to put onto the bench. Double Dreepy probably going to be found and established here, and our player agrees. Off of this reverse hollow, Buddy Buddy Poffin here. Both of those Dreepy eating the treats laid out for them, as the next card is Lumineon to be played from hand. When it's played from hand to the bench, it activates its Luminous Sign ability that allows the player to search their deck for a supporter card to put into their hand. Arven will be found with that Lumineon V put into the hand and then played as a supporter per turn, allowing the player to search their deck for a item card and a tool card. You do need energy. You want an energy attachment this turn. So maybe something like that earthen vessel. There's energy in the hand already, so maybe we don't need that right away. Um, you could find an item like an Ultra Ball to search for the Duskull evolution, Dusclops, and evolve that and use its ability right now. Or even a Dust Snore could be found if there's a rare candy in hand to use that Curse Blast ability for 13 damage counters even. Either way, I'll stop speculating here as it looks like our player has decided upon a switch as the item and a sparkling crystal as the tool card. Mm, you could preserve the Duskull, but I think maybe that's the one you prefer to have in the active spot, maybe, as the fire energy is attached to the bench Dreepy. Preserve the Duskull by playing the switch, of course, to move it to the bench and promoting something else, but like I said, maybe you could sacrifice another Dreepy to save the Duskull, but I'm okay with leaving the board as is right now on a pass. Oh, that Dusclops was actually in hand. Okay. So ignore what I was speculating. The player had more info and strategy than I did here as they evolved the Duskull into Dusclops and used its Curse Blast ability to knock itself out in order to place 5 damage counters on the opposing active Dreepy. The right Dragapult player will take a prize card, of course, since the Dusclops knocked itself out. Rotom V moves into the active spot, and then instant charge to draw 3 cards and end the turn. Now, something to consider was maybe pushing instead a Dreepy, like they had Dreepy that has no energy on it, since it's worth only 1 prize card, but our player really valuing having 2 dragons in play next turn with this play. So it's risky because the Rotom V has 190 HP and the Dragapult EX deals 200 damage, base damage, with its attack, enough to KO the Rotom V for 2 prize cards, but also Dragapult doesn't mind going behind in the early to mid game on prize cards. So we'll see how this works out for our player here with that Rotom V promotion, instant charge, and the turn, and now it is our right-hand side Dragapult player's turn. Can they get to a Dragapult EX and attack? That would put them in a pretty good spot, I would say, especially in the mirror match. They're eyeing up this Ultra Ball here. Ultra Ball is an item card that has the player discard 2 cards in order for the Ultra Ball to be played. So our player is deciding on what 2 cards could be let go here. Looks like a Blood Moon EX and Professor Turtle's Scenario are the cards to let go of. I wonder if there's a rare candy in hand. So our player is really pondering this decision here. Do I really want to let go of these 2 cards in order to search my deck for any Pokemon? Yes, I do. As we see the deck search there, Ultra Ball can search out, after discarding 2 cards, can search out any Pokemon from the deck, basic or evolution, to put into the hand. Okay, it's actually just going to be a Dracloak found and evolved in the active spot, giving that damaged Dreepy some more HP. 40 left remaining on it. Still a scary place to be, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Next is going to be a Recon Directive ability that Dracloak has to look at the top 2 cards of the deck, put one into the hand, and the other card at the bottom of the deck. So our player sees their 2 cards and is consulting their hand, trying to better inform their decision of which one to keep and which one to tuck away for later. All right, I missed what was grabbed there, but I'm sure we may gain knowledge of it soon enough here. If our player remembers to put it in their hand from the table there. All right, Psychic Energy was the pool there, so that gets attached to the bench Dreepy. Starting to power up 2 different threats now, just in case one is taken out. Is always a fine strategy. And it looks like it's just a pass back over to our left Dragapult player as they start their next turn. They attach another energy to the benched Dreepy there, and hopefully we can get that thing up to a Dragapult now and get it in the active spot. As an Ultra Ball of their own is played, the one from Brilliant Stars, I think, the cartoony art. Let me know what your favorite Ultra Ball art is in the comments as the player discards Dreepy and Earthen Vessel to pay for the Ultra Ball to search the deck for that Dragapult EX that gets added to the hand. Now, do they have the rare candy? Yes, the rare candy is in hand there, but not before an Arven is played. Remember that supporter allows them to search their deck for an item and a tool to put into their hand. They don't need the rare candy because it's already in hand. And so it could be a switch if they don't have that already. I can't remember if that was before or after the Iono that was in hand. But they could search for that. There we go, Forest Seal Stone as the tool. They could search for a rescue board that could provide the retreat for the Rotom because the energy was attached already, so we can't manually retreat the Rotom. So it's looking like Forest Seal Stone will be the tool for the Arven. And is that it, or are they going to grab an item as well? They might be tunnel vision, thinking I already have the rare candy. Usually that's the item I grab, so I don't really need to grab an item. So I'll just get this Forest Seal Stone tool. But it looks like the player thought a little bit harder about it and decided, yep, I need to grab an item. It's good to get something, get some value from that Arven that I played, as well as find something like that Buddy Buddy Poffin that we're seeing grabbed here, and then instantly played to find a Discall and Dreepy, another Dreepy to add to the bench. So there we go, the grabs off of Arven, Buddy Buddy Poffin, Forest Seal Stone. Buddy Buddy Poffin was played. Forest Seal Stone gets attached to the Lumineon V, giving it the V-Star Power ability Star Alchemy. When the player decides to use that, of course. Rare Candy allows the Dreepy to evolve straight into the Dragapult EX. Basic Switch allows it to move into the active spot. And nothing else to do but attack. 200 damage to the active, 6 damage counters placed on the bench however the opponent likes. There's only one target, so put all the 6 on that Dreepy. It only has 10 HP left. Dreepy against the world in this mirror match for our right-hand Dragapult player, who starts their next turn. Top decking Buddy Buddy Poffin, so they're still in the game. And then that league, Buddy Buddy Poffin, is played here. That allows them to search their deck for 2 more 70 HP or less basic Pokemon to put onto the bench. Probably double Dreepy or Dreepy Duskull. Yep, double Dreepy. We need all the dragons in play, as this active one is got only 10 HP left, but can it evolve into Dragapult EX and get an energy attached to start attacking with its own Phantom Dive this turn? We shall see. So our player gets shuffled up after this Buddy Buddy Poffin here. Not going back in, so the opponent cuts the deck. Can't really tell what's in the hand. Looks like a counter catcher, so maybe they could try to slow the opponent down, but not too much to really stall here. So Night Stretcher will be played to bring back from the discard pile a Pokemon. This time, not a basic energy. This time it'll be that Dracloak for next turn now, as they may have got a little mixed up. They tried to evolve the bench Dreepy, but they were both put onto the bench, and a Pokemon has to be in play for at least one turn in order to evolve. So locked into keeping that Dracloak for next turn there. The player is with that decision to play the Rescue Stretcher, Night Stretcher, whatever it's called now. I'm always going to call it Rescue Stretcher, I think. And then the Dreepy swings again for 10 damage into its evolved form as the Left-hand side player starts their next turn, evolving a bench Dragcloak using Recon Directive now to look at the top two cards of the deck. That Dragcloak ability. Is it double Buddy Buddy Poffin? Yep. So that is an easy Recon Directive. We'll take it, I guess, even though that card is useless right now. One card to the hand, one to the bottom off of that dragon ability there. The Forest Seal Stone is still active if the player wants to use it, but no need right now, so just another Phantom Dive, KOing the active Pokemon and putting 3 damage on each of the bench Dreepy. Very smart placement here, spreading it out. Dreepy slides into the active spot on the right-hand side, and play will resume there. How can our right Dragapult player claw their way back into this game? They start by evolving on the bench to a Dracloak, use its ability, Recon Directive, to look at the top 2 cards of the deck, keep one of them in the hand, and put the other on the bench. Or excuse me, at the bottom of the deck. Didn't see what the grab was there, but I'm sure we'll gain knowledge of it soon enough. Next, Buddy Buddy Poffin is played. In order to search the deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less to put onto the bench. Hollow League Buddy Buddy Poffin right there, actually. Duskull will be one target, followed by a Cleffa. Uh-oh. It's always scary putting down Pokemon with 60 or less HP onto the bench when you're facing off against Dragapult, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. As Cleffa and Duskull are the targets from that Buddy Poffin here. And just a pass back over to our left-hand side Dragapult player, who is just running away with this game as they activate their V-Star power ability, Star Alchemy. That Forest Seal Stone tool on the bench gives that Lumineon V, that V-Star power ability, to search the deck for 1 card and put it in your hand. Once per game, of course. Once that V-Star marker is flipped, it can't be flipped back over until the next game. So card was chosen there, any card. Cherry picked out of the deck just to advance further in this game, and it's a rare candy for our left-hand Dragapult player. Boss's orders already in hand. The Dragapult player flashes, so they're showing that the Dracloak will go down, most likely this turn. And yep, Boss's orders brings up the Dracloak on the bench, and that would probably be enough for me as well to call it curtains on this game, offer the concession to our left-hand side Dragapult player who takes the victory here in round 2. What do you think of this video and the commentary? Please leave feedback in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you to our players for letting their game be captured so we can all learn and enjoy. And I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.